Greetings and welcome to this week's Just Talk, the channel news and analytics show here on the channel. And the astute amongst you, the observant, will have noticed that something is a little bit different. Something is a little bit awry this week. And it is, of course, the fact that there's no Just Cause in the background. And, of course, therefore, no sketchy metaphors, no laboured metaphors whatsoever. And this is part of a change which I'm experimenting with. I may go back to the other format. I may do this every week, and then once a month do a more involved Just Talk show in which I, have the game up and I talk about stuff in a bit more detail. Who knows? It's all an experiment. Basically, there was no Just Talk last week. Part of the reason why there was no Just Talk last week is because I got frustrated when I was trying to make Just Talk. I kept re-recording it. I kept kind of not being happy with what I was talking about. I was trying to fit too much in. There was issues syncing it with the game, and I just thought, you know what, Just Talk is supposed to be a quick, simple little update for those who are interested. It's for the more hardcore type viewer of the channel. It's not for everyone. It potentially, sometimes they got really high viewing figures, but I wonder whether that was accidental or not. I'm not entirely certain. Anyway, look, the point is, it's not the game content. It's not the primary focus of the channel. So I decided I would just do it quickly in a single take. I'm going to try and keep it under 10 minutes, but I'm almost certainly going to fail. So I apologize if this video is like 25 minutes long. It's 25 minutes long. That's just the way it's going to be. And I'm going to do this every week. And the bonus is the payoff for you guys and also for me is that it means it's no longer going to take up a sort of a significant chunk of time for me to create. And therefore, I should be able to fit an extra video in a week. That's the idea. Basically, Just Talk will either be moved to Sunday or I'll leave it on Saturday, but it will be in addition to a proper gaming video on Saturday. Which brings me to the main kind of like thrust of this week's Just Talk segment, the channel news segment, if you will. There's going to be stuff on Patreon and Patreon backer levels and all sorts of other stuff, but that I think I'm going to put in its own separate video, maybe a Just Talk special, maybe something else, I don't know. But, I've got a lot, I've been working on that a lot. There's a lot that I want to talk about, there's a lot I want to do. But it just distracts from this one. That was one of the issues I had last week. So we're not going to talk about that now. Instead, we're going to talk about the schedule of the channel. I know you're just staring at a blank screen at the moment. I apologize. Well, you're probably not staring. I don't know. Are you staring? Don't stare. The schedule on the channel, right? And the content. Basically, let's have a look at the analytics, and we'll talk about this as we go. So there's the main analytics screen. 19,230 minutes watched. It's kind of a bit spiky. We've got this little lull in the middle. Views 3,499. Interestingly, look, YouTube traffic sources, top traffic sources, 31%. Searches, YouTube searches. Now I have no idea actually. I didn't even realize this was at the bottom, or if I did, I'd forgotten about it. Actually, much higher than I thought. Search results for generating traffic for the site. I kind of assumed that most of it would be return visitors. People coming from their watch page or my channel page. Their watch page apparently 94%. Far more so actually than the YouTube channel page. But yeah, 31% YouTube searches, 18% channel page, and then unknown direct 12%. That's probably mostly Twitter, I would have thought, and maybe a few kind of posts I've made here and there about other stuff. 39%, I don't know. That search result thing is interesting though, because this, like, YouTube search traffic is like my great hope for a sudden, well, perhaps not a sudden, but for a scaling up channel. At the moment, like my current publicity efforts, which I've restarted, not quite as hardcore as I did before, but mostly it revolves around Twitter. I have been looking, and I will continue to look for other ways that I can help to spread the word of the channel, because that's the big challenge, right? That's the big challenge, is spreading the word. And I'll talk about that as we look at the analytics a bit more. But search traffic, if YouTube starts serving up my content in search results for people, that's a great way of building traffic in the channel with virtually no effort from my point of view. As long as I've populated the right metadata and done the description right and things like that, then if the videos are getting enough engagement, then they should start turning up in people's search results. That's kind of, that's one of the things that YouTube weight quite heavily is engagement. And one thing I have to say about the channel, and this is awesome, and I've had this commented from some other YouTubers, is how much engagement I already get for such a small channel from my viewers, which is you guys, and it's amazing and it's fantastic. And we'll talk about that a bit more as we go through the analytics. So let's do that, shall we? Let's take a look at the minutes watched, and we'll add in views as well. There we go. Now, as you can see, we've got this sort of little lull. This is the weekend this was last weekend, the weekend of shame, I shall refer to it as, in which I released no content at all. A whole weekend with no content. And, still 5 hours each day, which is pretty good, actually. We look at that by subscribers. Unsurprisingly, subscribers is where it was hit the most, because obviously subscribers will often have already watched the content. It still managed to pick up a good, what's that, about sort of 4 hours between the two days off of subscribers, which is what, sort of 9-10 videos watched, something like that. So not terrible, a non-terrible amount. And non-subscribers actually, it held up relatively well, I suspect, because we were getting that search traffic for things like the Kerbal Space Program videos. So, interesting, very interesting. And look, actually, we had this big surge here in the, on the, what is this, the 8th, sort of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then again kind of on the 14th, where the minutes watched was actually considerably outperforming the views that we were getting. The views was fairly steady, but people were actually sitting and watching the videos. This is, bear in mind, look, we're looking at non-subscribers at the moment, so it's kind of interesting. I find that kind of interesting. And obviously, Kerbal Space Program, very popular. Obviously, with the 1.0 launch, there was a big kind of surge in interest in Kerbal Space Program, so it was the right time to do it. And I want to be able to be kind of responsive to this sort of thing. And also, I think I want to be able to capitalize on it. And one of the things, if we look at the channel overall again, and if we sort of like expand this out a bit, then, we can see we've had these like peaks and surges and stuff, and it has started to dip. This is a very, very clear and obvious dip right here. This is where I was doing no publicity. So if you're a YouTuber and you're wondering why my channel grew as quickly as it did, this demonstrates why. When I stopped publicizing, the channel stopped growing. So you can't just create content and hope for the best. It's just too difficult to get noticed, even with arguably very, very good content, like some of the YouTubers that I've seen. And people tell me that my content is good. Being British, I find it very difficult to blow my own trumpet about that, or at least bling me, man. Being me, I find it difficult to blow my own trumpet and to kind of go around saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm an awesome YouTuber." I consider myself to be a competent new YouTuber. Like, those are the provisos that I would put in front of. I spend a lot of time and effort on my videos. Some are better than others. In some ways I've gone forward, in other ways I've slipped backwards a little bit recently. And one of the things that I think has impacted that in the channel, just to ramble off on another tangent that I want to touch on, is back here when the channel was really growing quite fast, it was much more focused on a couple of games. It was really, going back to February, it was basically Stranded Deep only, more or less, for a month or so, with a couple of like Weird Wednesday kind of like popped up as a thing, and Retro Friday kind of popped up as a thing. But Stranded Deep was like the main game that I was playing, and then I think was Medieval Engineers the next one I added with Stranded Deep, and then like Besiege came along as a little mini episode, and then Cities, and it's kind of like it's grown. The number of different things that I'm doing has grown to the point where I'm basically covering one different thing each day of the week. And so if you like Medieval Engineers and you find my channel and you watch a Medieval Engineers video and you think, oh, that's cool, and maybe you subscribe, or maybe you don't, and then you come back the next day and it's Cities, and then you come back the next day and it's like Weird Wednesday, and then you come back the next day and it's Rune or something, and then you maybe stop coming back because you think, oh well, actually he doesn't like the thing that I liked about his channel, he doesn't do very often. And the trouble is, that's everything. Like, no matter what it is you like, unless you like everything, and there are people who will, and I'm really I'm really pleased that there are, and I know a lot of the regular viewers do watch everything and comment on everything, and it's fantastic. And I love creating that degree of variety on the channel, but I'm worried that it's perhaps not the best way to grow the channel. And I've got a Reddit thread about this if you want to like join in this conversation, or you can leave comments in this. I'll be watching this video specifically for comments on this subject as well. About sort of like, how I can perhaps cover the same number of games but do it more intensely. So rather than doing like 4 games effectively, which is what I'm doing at the moment, if you take out Weird Wednesday, then we're doing City Skylines, we're doing Medieval Engineers, we're doing Kerbal Space Program now, and we were doing The Long Dark before it, and we're doing Rune. That's 4 games. Then we've got Weird Wednesday for the 5th and Just Talk for the 6th. Just Talk I've already addressed. In doing this, it's just going to be a quick splurge it down. If you're interested enough to sit through it, awesome. It's probably more like a podcast actually now, because there's going to be relatively little going on screen, and mostly it's just going to be me talking, rambling on about all of this stuff. In the future, when there is less to talk about, it will be more focused on the analytics, and I'll probably, I'll try and create a good balance between episodes which are heavily talking about channel news and episodes which are just quick analytics, bang bang bangs. So that's what I'm thinking about, and so that's 4. Now, assuming I did, just a theoretical 12 episodes of each one, at the moment that would take 12 weeks. Now, if I dropped 2 of those, I could do a season of 2 games in 6 weeks, and then do the other 2 games in the next 6 weeks. Have 4 episodes, 2 episodes each of those a week. 3 actually of one of them, because we've got the Just Cause slot opened up. So over that 12-week period, you would get the same number of games covered, the same number of videos of the same number of different games. It's just you would get them concentrated, and I think that's probably going to work better. That's my gut feeling, and that's what some of the feedback, and I mean, people are understandably, who enjoy the variety of content have sort of like said so, and I totally take that on board. But it is. It should in the end provide the same amount of content, I think, and there will be a balance to be found in that, and I think probably the balance is going to be something like 1 game which is the main focus, which gets, say, 3 episodes a week, a secondary game which gets maybe 2 episodes a week, and then maybe one-off slots for sort of bonus games which go in addition, rather than taking an existing slot. How we're going to work that, I don't know exactly. Rune's going to end, and I probably won't replace Rune. I'm going to aim to end that next week or the week, well, probably the week after next. Kerbal, I think I'm probably just going to wind up doing bonus videos on, because I think that's kind of like a hot game of the moment, what with 1.0 being released, and there's quite a lot of interest. I'm really enjoying it. So what I'll probably do is I'll put in a bit of extra effort and release double episodes on some days over the course of the next couple of weeks, so that I can really get KSP going, and then we'll see how it develops, and any feedback and comments are welcome. But there you go. What are we on now? Who knows? Who knows how long I've been recording for? Let's just whiz through the rest of the analytics, and we'll call it a day for this Just Talk. And I will be waiting with bated breath for your feedback and such. Let's put this back to 28 days. There we go. Let's look at the demographics. 8.3% female, pretty good. Subscribed, 7.2%, not bad. I'd like to see this going up. And such, because I just would. All right, I just would. All right. Cyprus, main playback location. This is not true. I don't know why that bit is reporting it like that. Don't get me wrong, Cyprus, you are awesome. I love Cyprus. Was Cyprus in the Eurovision Song Contest last night? I forget. But I was forced to watch bits of it. I didn't watch all of it, so I would have missed quite a few of them. But there you go. Congratulations, Sweden, on your deserved victory. It was apparently deserved. Sweden was also one of the songs that I missed, unfortunately, but everyone seemed to agree that it was the best. Commiserations, Russia, for missing out. I'm not going to say that you maybe missed out on some votes, because Russia is, perhaps not the most popular in Europe at the moment because of certain political activities, because this is a non-political channel. So let's just move on. Anyway, look, United Kingdom 314, United States 256, Canada 64, Germany 61. So that's the order. Congratulations, United Kingdom. 4 subscribers. You are top of the pile, top of the pops, with 314 views in the last 28 days and 3,240 minutes watched, with an average view duration of 10 minutes 19. Go UK. United States, a close-ish second, with 256 views, 2,085 minutes watched, 8 minutes and 8 seconds average view duration. Canada, not a bad third place, a creditable third place. And Germany just behind again with 581. Actually, a lot more minutes watched in Germany. So you may have watched slightly fewer videos, but you've watched a lot more of them. In fact, 14 minutes and 14 seconds average view duration. You're not the best. Actually, look, Cyprus is the... Go, Cyprus! Oh, I love Cyprus. You're the best. 18 minutes and 28 seconds average view duration. Only 21 views, but I suspect that is one solitary soldier of the Wizarding Army who has been solidly keeping up Cyprus's numbers and doing a sterling job at it as well. Others worth mentioning here. Look, Finland, 15 minutes and 44 seconds average view duration with 36 views. Very, very good. Very, very good. I think that is probably the gist of it. That's the subscribers. Let's look now at the non-subscribed. And look at that. United States leaps into the lead with 772 non-subscribed views, 3,527 minutes watched, average view duration 4 minutes 34. Not bad for non-subscribers, not bad at all. United Kingdom, second, a fairly distant second in views, and indeed in minutes watched, but slightly higher average view duration. So, United Kingdom... Go United Kingdom once again, and then we've got Germany, Canada again. All actually fairly similar to the subscribe numbers, and hopefully some of these non-subscribers became, a part of the subscriber numbers. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? If you were in the last 28 days one of these non-subscribed people contributing views and minutes watched, and you became a subscribed view, and somehow you have managed to tolerate this random blathering to this point. Leave a comment, say hi, and big up your country of origin, or at least country of residence currently. Cool, awesome. Australia, France, Sweden, Poland, Belgium, Czech Republic. A really wide. I mean, look at all the different countries. It's amazing. I'm honestly a little bit touched that such a wide number of countries have watched my content. Look at that, awesome. And some of them for reasonable periods of time. Here, look, 4 minutes 21, 4 minutes 52. Where's Russia? Let's have a look at Russia, because I was perhaps a little bit unfair to you just now. 1 minute 38 average view. I wasn't unfair at all. That's why Russia. You see, the people of Europe, obviously all avid Weird Wizard fans, although somehow they failed to actually contribute to the statistics here. They were aware of this rather pathetic average view duration of Russia, and they have penalised you as a result in Eurovision by forcing you to come a shameful second. I think it was second they came in the end. I didn't watch it all the way to the end because the girlfriend whom was making me watch it got tired and went to bed, which freed me from my obligation. But I did watch it up to the point where they declared a winner, so I do know that Sweden was the winner. Awesome, right. That's enough of that. That's enough of that very silliness. Likes and dislikes, pretty good over the last 28 days. Why does that say 4? I've had more than 4 likes. What's going on here? Oh, of course, this is just non-subscribed. Okay, that's interesting. 4 non-subscribed likes of the KSP. 1.0, 3 of the windmill, interesting. 2 of my my now rather dated channel trailer, in which I celebrate reaching 100 subscribers, and then a few other ones across here. Not too bad. Unsurprisingly, perhaps, subscribers much more likely to hit those like buttons. Really great to see. This really helps me out, like I said, in terms of making decisions, like if I'm going to trim the channel down, take out a game or two and focus on others. Ultimately, partly it will be informed by what I enjoy the most, but partly it is going to be informed by what people like the most. So if you like something and you want to see more of it, make sure you like it. Something else that I completely failed to talk about then is the channel art and stuff. I'm really sorry, because to my great shame, I've been sitting on a fantastic wizard train, which I'm going to just send across the screen right now so you can see it. There you go. This is going to start appearing. Possibly I'm going to have that going across screen towards the end of videos or during the outros and stuff, with things like, if you liked it, like it, or subscribe, or other bits and pieces, because I don't like to say it. I mean, I know a lot of people do, and YouTube themselves tells you to. They say in their things, like, don't forget to tell people if they like your videos to like them, and if they want to, and they should subscribe and stuff. And it's like, I feel weird doing it. I just do. It's different in Just Talks, and it's different in some things, but in every video, like, I don't want to end it with, if you like this video, make sure you like this video. Or anything like that. But maybe I can kind of like send something across the screen that says it, and hope that is reminder enough. Because at the end of the day, if you liked a video, presumably, if you feel motivated enough to like it, to click the like button, then you're going to feel motivated enough to click it. And does having the person nag you to do it make you more likely to do it? I don't. It probably does, but I just don't think it's the way I want to do my content. So, I can just chug stuff across the screen, and then I don't have to think about it too much. And it's as if it's not really happening. And if it helps to boost up the number of people who hit likes, that will be awesome, because this really helps with the stuff I was talking about earlier, with the engagement and searches, and also just me gauging what is good and what is bad. If you dislike, feel free to dislike. Somebody disliked Kerbal Space Program Juno 1 and a bit. You're wrong. I'm sorry, but you're wrong. I like that. All right, so that's not true. That's not true. You can't be wrong. It's a personal opinion thing. It may be because I was kind of taking the mickey out of Mars One, which I was kind of taking the mickey out of Mars One a little bit. But I like the Mars One concept. I like the idea. I'm a little bit concerned that it's just snake oil salesmen who are kind of like cynically exploiting people's genuine desire to see space exploration move forward, and to see humanity become a multi-planet species, among whom I count myself a fervent member, by sort of like offering a dream of something which technically and economically is just completely impractical as far as I can see. Human beings, unlike Kerbals, are incredibly risk averse. Certainly our modern society anyway is incredibly risk averse, and more importantly, like, there's just no infrastructure on Mars. So if you dumped 4 people there, you would have to keep sending spacecraft to provide them with replacement parts and, all the stuff that they just simply cannot manufacture on site. Forget about food. Food's easy, like, relatively. Even that would be, is a challenge that we have yet to overcome. But what about, printing new circuit boards? What about manufacturing replacement processors? What about, airlock seals? What about all the sort of like rubber and plastics and all of that sort of stuff? It's just, unfortunately, doesn't seem feasible to me at the time. And it seems like more of a kind of an exercise in drumming up a bit of publicity, raising some interest, which is good. Maybe making some reality TV shows, hence the Juno 1 and a bit connection. But you know what? I don't know. There are people who support it, and I'm not about to turn around and say that it is a scam, because the people who are running it may be absolutely genuine, and if I will be the first to sing their praises if they succeed. Anyway, look, complete side topic. Dislikes do help me as well, because I can look at a dislike and think, if a video got multiple dislikes, I could genuinely think, okay, right, I was doing something wrong there. What was it? I would prefer people to comment, quite frankly, and tell me what I did wrong, so I don't have to guess. But a dislike, if multiple dislikes, it's all feedback. It's all good. It's all feedback. But in the case of this episode, I really liked it, and so there you go. Tough. Good. Right. I think that'll probably do for now, because I'm sure I've been rambling for ages already, and the point of this is to make it short, quick, and concise, and if I have to do editing after the fact, I have failed. So it's just going to be splurged as is on the screen. If you've made it this far, fantastic, well done. Leave a comment, say I made it to the end, because I am a weird wizard ninja, a number 1 boss man or woman. You don't have to put all of that if you don't want to, but it is really cool if people are interested enough to sort of like get to this point. And if you want to engage in discussions about the future of the channel and different things, Reddit is a great place to go, and to do. I'm going to be focusing on trying to use that resource much more, because it was really awesome of Warigori to set that up for us in the first place, and it's kind of been neglected a little bit, so and it's inevitable with the size of the channel that it's going to be quite quiet, but I'm going to start using it myself a bit to put these kind of thoughts in process and to start discussions that people can engage in if they want to. Also, we'll be looking to try and reward the amount of engagement that I've been getting, because it is awesome. I know people don't do it to get rewards, but it feels to me like people who are regularly commenting, people who are helping the channel, people who are retweeting me and helping to advocate the channel to others and to spread the word of the channel. I should be making a note and making sure that in the future I create opportunities, just like I'm going to be doing for the Patreon backers, for the financial backers, for those sorts of people who are backing and helping the channel to develop, to get a little something back in the future. And that is something I will talk about some other time. Until then, I have been Weird Wizard. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and I will see you later.